Ulonkata bati yada to ye kuma daifa. Inu to ye ko je love bipa. Oba tala, oba takutakun. Zongo eshu, ogun oya osun. Ibulombo nile. Kini sheshe, tan she nile yo. O jalo jara.
Lafia, peace and power, family, peace and power. Welcome to another episode of the African Spirituality Experience. I am your host, Orisha Gbemi, and we are back, tribe, with another one of these Friday Night Lives, man, ready to get this thing cracking with the divine feminine up in the building. So before we get this real divine, powerful Ashe going, let me get a few announcements going out there real quick. Shout out to the entire channel, the entire Ashe Nation, man. We just hit a 21,000 subscriber milestone, man. I couldn't be more grateful, more appreciative, more thankful for y'all, man. So definitely want to give a huge shout out to y'all for that. I think we have 1.4, almost 1.5 million views all time. We ain't even 2 years old yet, man. We ain't 2 years old yet. So I definitely want to say a huge shout out, man, to every single one of y'all tribe, for real. Whether you just joined us, whether you've been with us from day one, whether you came in the midway point, wherever you came from, I appreciate you. I appreciate the love, the support, the comments, the feedback, etc. Shout out to the new channel members. Shout out to the new Patreon members. We got the call coming tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern time. And shout out to all of my past guests, my present guests, all the distinguished elders, all the master teachers, the scholars, the healers, everybody who played a role in this whole ascension of this thing we call Ashe, man. I definitely appreciate every single one of y'all. For real. And so, now I'm ready to get this thing cracking. So shout out to the Divine Feminine in the building. I am SEG 13, Miss Marianna Sekhmet Maat. Yes,
we coming to bring the smoke. We coming to bring the smoke.
Listen,
Let's get it right. We give thanks
all
to
day,
the
every day, too.
For having us up in this thing. We give thanks for air, fire, earth, water, mother, father, child. We give thanks for the ancestors and their blessings. We ask that you come and be with us. Ashe.
Ashe. Yes, sir. Well, so we ain't even gonna waste no time in tap dance. Ain't no foreplay, no appetizers. We're gonna dive right in, family. So
wait a minute. Hold on. There ain't no four. What? Hold on. We grown in here. You ain't gotta skip that part.
The people want the message, man. They want the real hot juice coming in hot.
Y'all want to rush through everything. We ain't got to rush. Take your time, brother.
Look, we coming in hot, man. Everybody said, look, we want all the smoke. So hey, shout out to Friday the 13th, man. Because first, before we even get into any of that, let's just talk about that. Because Friday is one of my favorite, if not my favorite day of the week. But then that number 13 is one of my favorite numbers as well. So we know that means the mothers, we got a 13 in this thing. So for the sake of the namesakes, and it being Friday and 13, Miss IMG SEG, what is this particular 13 bringing upon us, in that we need to, focus on to get the show, the show and the party started tonight when we're talking about the divine feminine in 13?
I say the divine feminine, the number 13, it is the divine feminine's number. And it has always been. Friday the 13th has been a day for the divine feminine. It is a very powerful time for us. We are the creators, the receivers, the rebirthers. And so on this day, they made it so scary for people because for the longest time, they have been putting the divine feminine in the back burner, on the bottom of the totem pole, bottom. So Friday 13th, they wanted to make it a scary day because what better way to keep people away from the truth than to have them in fear and have them scared? So people have woken up. It is a new day. It is a new time. The truth is out. And Friday the 13th is a very powerful and magical day. So I hope that you're taking advantage of it. We're taking advantage of it right now. So welcome.
Hey.
Yeah, boy.
You know, and when you add to that too, let me just put a little opening goddess energy on, open it up. Like when you look at how everything sacred that a woman has, her intuition, her blood, her, you know what I'm saying, her creativity, like all of those things, if you look through countless generations, like the sister said, those are all the things that we've been made to be afraid of. Everything that's actually sacred about a woman, there has been some kind of approach to making us be fearful of it. Just like when a woman is menstruating and her moon is here, everybody, I don't want to deal with you. That's the time when you should be serving your sisters and loving on her and nurturing her and pouring into her as she is purging and resetting for another moon cycle to take care of you. So throughout this whole session we have today, let's just make sure that everybody keeps in their mind that everything you've been taught to fear or be afraid of about woman, lean into it, because it's probably exactly the medicine that you need. Ashe.
100%.
Yeah, boy. Lean with it, rock with it, lean with it, rock with it, lean with it, rock with it. I'm leaning with it, and I'm rocking everything now. This motherfucker. You better ask several somebody's, boy. That's real. Yes, sir. Nah, I love it, man. So whew, we got a lot, man. We definitely got a lot. And before we even do go any further, I want to definitely give a shout out to the Divine Feminine. Shout out to my yaya, who I was just looking at the numbers, man. So family, I need some help, tribe. I need y'all to like, subscribe. I need y'all to share the channel, share the whole entire experience with Ashe, because we'll be officially on April the 8th. We'll be 2 years old. We launched the very first show with my yaya. Shout out to Yaya Oshunbumi. We launched that show on April 8th, 2024, man. So in just 2 short years, we definitely, have made some serious significant milestones and accomplishments. So I couldn't do it without any of y'all. So I definitely want to give thanks and for the love and support. And I want to look, I got some goals, man. I want to hit that 2 million view mark by the time we turn 2, and then hopefully we can hit about 25K on the subscribers. You know what I mean? So I need y'all help, family. We need, I need y'all help, and I definitely want to make sure that we do something big for that 2-year anniversary or 2-year birthday of the channel, man. So I definitely give gratitude and thanks for everybody who's played a role in a part in that. I really do. So with that, so when it comes to the power and the significance of the number 13 and the divine feminine, let me share one more thing, because I feel like this is really going to take it to another level in regards to both of y'all and your divine femininity, goddesshoodness, in regards to what I think I got it. Yeah, right here, what this signifies. Because I believe I might have been on a solo show the first time I shared it, but this is going to be, I think, the second time that I've shared it. But I want to share clip that I found about 2 weeks ago for a show that I was doing in regards to like the state of the world and what was going on. And it's the Divine Mother, the Mother Earth, and she has something that she wants to say. So let me share this real quick. Now I'm gonna come back and get y'all's opinion on it. Okay, here we go. About this is I didn't even realize on the live stream last night that this is the 42nd time that this volcano has erupted. Now, mind you, we talked about the principles of Ma'at, the 42 laws of Ma'at, multiple times throughout this particular podcast, not to mention through a majority of the podcast. But then you look at the 1,300 feet of how high the lava spewed. Now, that 13 is connected to the mothers. So you talk about divine alignment. Like, this is some very, very powerful divine alignment here, family. Powerful. The laws of Ma'at, Mother Earth, the number 13, the number of the mothers. Very powerful. Okay, so now that we got the mothers here and a 13, what do y'all think about that? Because the very first entry point that we were going to go with this show was, what does the divine feminine think about war? So now we're looking at Mother Earth. We're looking at the mother, the big mama, and she's showing right there, she ain't too happy. So she has erupted in that particular volcano 42 times as of February 15th, when that one erupted. She spewed lava 1,300 feet into the night sky. So now when we're talking about the mothers, the divine feminine is number 13. It's Friday the 13th. We see Mother Earth is there with us, letting motherfuckers know, look, y'all gonna stop playing with me. What does the divine feminine have to say about these parasites that's raising war all over the planet?
Go for it, sis. Go for it.
Look, everything is as it should be. The thing that people were thinking that Jesus was going to come on rapture and people were going to be flying up to the sky, rapture is right now, and it is happening. And the divine feminine is being shown as being, you just have to allow for everything to happen as it should, right? And right now is the time for the rising of the divine feminine. And so this chaos that we're experiencing, a lot of people are really like stressed out, but this is a beautiful and a wonderful time to be in. Oh yeah, we ain't seen nothing yet, but if you are where you're supposed to be, if you are in alignment with that divine feminine, if you're not one of those woman haters and you mad that, the women are like shouting out for their, their honor, you know what I'm saying? It's like, if you're one of those, and you're gonna feel the residual of that, of your energy. Everybody is getting the residual of their past thoughts and action. And the divine feminine is not playing, because see, you know, a lot of people think that, okay, people of color have been, you know, going through a lot and they've been the last. But the woman, the divine feminine, has been the last. And so now it is time for her to rise. And those of us that know what time it is, we ain't scared, not for a second.
Not
See,
a bit.
the war of the divine feminine, you feel me? We don't have to say nothing.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
present, the energy, our words when we do speak them. But here's the power of the divine feminine. We're going into this space where it's not about the words, it's about the vibrational frequency. So as the divine feminine aligns with her true nature, the world is going to respond to that. And so I'm talking about every divine feminine, and every woman, you got a womb and a yoni, you're divine. Right. And so as every divine feminine comes to her true calling of who she is and what she's here to do, that is how Mother Earth gets healed. So war for the divine feminine is quite powerful and quiet. You know, sometimes we get loud, you know what I'm saying? But right now, it's like we don't have to, you know, use this kind of muscle like that. You know, we got more power than that. We created everything, remember? So we know exactly what to do. We're not panicking. And I yield.
I say. You know, I would say the first thing that comes to mind when you're thinking of what the divine feminine thinks about war, it's not even about what we think. It's what we feel and we know is happening. And so when you want to really understand women, when you want to understand girls, you have to look through the lens of your intuition and your emotional heart chakra. Not that we're not intellectual beings, not that we're not created by intelligent design, but this whole response to war is what's more important, not what we think about it. How are we responding to war is what the divine feminine is all about. And so as you see women coming into their power, as you see us shifting this Aquarian age, like all these different things that are happening, there's going to be a different lens that people are going to have to look through when they want to consider addressing women, let alone being of exchange. You have to come a certain way now to even address me, let alone being in exchange with me. And if you don't, we are not these divine feminines where we are just going to be quiet and meek and meager. Like there's this thing where everybody wants to live the soft life. Like I get the sentiment, but that does not mean, 24/7 we're talking in this wispy way. No, we're very upfront. We are very honest. We operate with ma'at. So we're truthful, right? We're going to speak up for what's truth. We're going to speak up for what's right. And it's not about comforting you or pleasing you the way patriarchy has shaped us to experience in this life. Number two is going to be about justice. So if you're being unfair with me, or I see you being unfair with children or community, I don't care how fine you are. I don't care how much property and how much of big of a mogul and how many influences you are. If you're not in good character and you're not fair with the land, with the children, with the women, with the people, we're not messing with you. And we have no problem being truthful in saying that. If you're not operating in a righteous way, meaning for the healthy, higher good, we're not dealing with you. And so this passive, aggressive, or even overly angry, aggressive side of us will be upfront, but we're not going to burn our energy. We need to be planting seeds. We need to be preparing the children. We need to be getting in tune. So we don't have time to be fussing about what you are obviously don't have the capacity at this point in time to do. We will take our energy to the next brother who's willing to stand in honor and bring us our offerings. And this is not to be confused by a handbag. This is not to be confused by a piece of jewelry. Your offering is what you can bring to us first in that order, And I know it's been the other way around. Patriarchy has flipped everything inside out where we have to give of ourselves, which is totally the opposite of what's going to heal humanity. So you must first address us properly in truth, justice, and righteousness. You must second bring your offering so that we have something that we can take and alchemize. And once we alchemize it, we magnetize it and we give it to ourselves to recharge what we have just given in that alchemization process. And then we bless you, the giver of that deed, of that action, of that offering, of that dowry, and then we triple double it for the village. So the divine feminine can't be quiet or ask permission or wait. You need to know that when you address me, you come with baseline respect, baseline truth, justice, and righteousness, and then your offering. And then we will consider if we will receive that. If not, we will also be firm enough to say, this is the offering that would work best for me. Baba, go work on that. Nephew, go work on that. Husband, go work on that, because that's not a good seed for me to harvest. So you must understand that the divine feminine coming into power is you having to get your taste buds and your habits in alignment with what does it feel like to serve the women after hundreds and thousands of years of serving the man. And it's going to feel off. Some people would try to turn themselves into a woman rather than just give their offerings and serve women. Some people will rather beat women up and abuse them rather than have to get up off this throne, this unrighteous throne, and give us the proper one. So as you see, I'm not being hurtful or harmful, but this tone of firmness is what we're going to be speaking. And it should be not confused with aggression, because just as the same, as soon as you bring me my offering, now I can sit down and relax and make it do what it do. And then you get the sweetness of what we have to offer. But you don't just get that off back because you desire us.
That's it.
Yeah. Them flames, boy, it's getting a little warm in here, boy. Holy schmoly, boy, it's getting a little warm.
Come be with me.
And,
Look,
you know,
feel like some of that lava spilled over, boy. It spilled off the screen, boy. Look.
And it ain't nothing but pomegranate. It ain't nothing but pomegranate in my glass. I promise you. I promise.
Look, I'm here for all of it. Look, I'm here for all the smoke. Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. That's a real thing. But it's real though, because you know it's been for so long. You know, we've seen the culture controlled by, and I'm gonna say it, some of these motherfuckers was inside job culture vultures, and there's several of them that's being exposed right now about the bullshit and fuckery that they've had going on since the early 2000s, late 90s. You know what I mean? So it's like now all of a sudden we're starting to see that there were gatekeepers put in place in order to keep the rise of the consciousness, in order to keep the rise and the elevation of people, in order to keep the energy and the frequency dumbed down and lowered to fit the bill of the mainstream or the main society's agenda, right? And so now all you little fuckboys is out of here because it's a wrap, and everybody sees what's really happening. Everybody knows what's really happening, and y'all ain't gonna slide with us no more with all the capping. So I'm here for all of it, because at the end of the day, now we're able to move, like I said, the low vibrational frequency wannabe players out of the way, and now we're seeing the real bosses come through. We're seeing the real revolutionaries, you know what I'm saying, come and do what they came to do, and they don't have that influence over the masses anymore. You know what I mean? Because we all know what it is, we see what it is, and everybody's tired of it. You know what I mean? So now to have the unification of the divine masculine and the divine feminine working together, now you really got a problem on your hands, and it's something that I don't think a lot of them are prepared for. So with that, I appreciate all the fire. I appreciate all the hostility, because it's getting me riled up a little bit. I'm ready to start throwing some lightning bolts out here.
We want you to be. Let me make it very clear. Let me make myself very clear.
Yeah.
We want you. Yeah. We want to agitate your greatness. And that's why a lot of brothers, you know what I'm saying, they mistake that for our wounds. We've been healing. Yeah. We've been working on our shit. We really, really have been. So when you get a woman who starts pushing away, right, the past triggers, the past trauma, that's not her. She's not bleeding on you, trying to heal you at the same time. After a while, you can't be sitting up and saying it's you, because now it's like, nah, bro, I'm not operating from that wounded space. This is this is a product of right now, and right now it's not balanced. So what men have to understand is we want to agitate your greatness. We want you to awaken. And we're not yelling at you. We are motivating you. And when you see a fiery woman such as me and SEG, like, that's not something you should fear. That's something you should revere, because that means that woman comes from strong stock, and she can produce strong stock with you. You don't want no meek and meager, pantsy passenger princess right now. That's not it.
Nah.
When you research history, the queens that we revere, the queens that we remember, they were warriors.
Warriors.
Yeah.
And when the battle was won, they would sit back and enjoy their throne and be treated as such. But we're going to fight with you. We don't want to fight against you anymore. I know I'm tired of it. Are you tired of it?
There's really important too to consider, because there's a lot of men that get very fearful at the thought of a matriarchal society. It's so important to remember that the matriarchal society that did happen already once upon a time, just like the patriarchal society happened once upon a time. Now it is time for balance. It is time for us to be able to come together and work together and not be afraid of each other. And so the woman having this power and this control is necessary because, again, the woman is the creator of all of it. So she has to come back to one so that it can come back to balance. It's not like we're trying to take men and put them, put them down or act like they're not, like they're irrelevant. Because I do know that there are women out there that are out of balance and they're feeling like, oh no, it's about me. I'm the matriarch, and they're taking it to a space where that's not what we're talking about. It's not about competition. It's not no battle of the sexes. You know what I'm saying? It's about everybody coming to do what they came here to do. And it's so important for men to recognize that when it comes to the divine feminine, a divine feminine is not, it's not just here. It's the whole circle. It's everything. And so as Marianna was saying, when we're warriors, you got that warrior and you're doing that warrior, but it is a necessary time for the divine feminine softness, for that place of ease. And so when we get that, then we're able to do the whole thing. But when some of us are missing all of these different parts because we have to be this and we have to be that, and we haven't been taught the balance of being able to be all of it in our comfort, this is what's happening now. So women are starting to wake up to their power, and the men are starting to wake up to the women's power. But what's happening? They're getting scared. And just like Marianna was saying, either they're trying to be us now, or they're trying to beat us, or they're trying to just compete with us and attack us. All of these different things are happening. So this spiritual war that we're experiencing, it started in the spirit. There's a lot going on up there. But here on the earth, we're experiencing the residual of all of that. So every thing that you can imagine is happening now, but it is happening for our benefit and for our healing. And I want to end with this, saying Ache and the most high gratitude to Orisha Gbemi for always bringing the matriarchs in. Orisha Stone as well. Like, you gentlemen, y'all do your thing with bringing us in, because I have been doing this work for over 13 years, and ask me how many times I've been invited to talk about what I do.
Yeah. So well, I'm gonna tell you, there's a difference when you're working with people who really want to bring you on and really want to build with you for the sake of building, versus trying to build into your drawers and in between your, your legs in the process. And see, that's the thing that I'm not even gonna front. It's happening on both sides. You know what I mean? It's happening definitely with the men. I'm not even gonna play with it. I know for a fact that that's how a lot of dudes move like that. You know what I mean? It's like, that's something I've never been a fan of, and that's something I'm never going to allow myself to be a part of. Because for one, as a man, as a hustler, I'm about my coins, and I'm not going to sit there and let you think you can give me a coochie coupon where I'm not going to get compensated for my services that I offer. You know what I mean? So I think
that's something. I got so excited when you said a coochie coupon. I'm sorry, I've never heard that.
I'm telling you, when I.
And I ain't never 46 years, and I ain't never heard of a coochie coupon. I want to learn about coochie coupons.
Listen, when I tell you, I'm serious, man. Like, for real. Like, so it's like, I've lost. Well, I can say I've lost. I forfeited events because of that. You know what I mean? Like, because I didn't want to. That's another story for another time. But I just say all that to say that. That's why I feel like that probably wasn't happening for the last 13 years, SEG, because it wasn't in tune with the divine alignment for the frequency to be in alignment for the work to be done, versus, you know what I mean, it happening with ulterior motives. So that's the thing that, I feel like it's happening on both ends. And it's like, but I'm grateful for all the people that I've been able to work with, because like I said, on this channel, everybody is a buck with everybody, and everybody, we move in one accord in unison. And that's why I feel like the tribe resonates the way it does, because they see an authenticity. There ain't no fluff and no bullshit here. Like, we here to do the work, and we here to get it in. And everybody feels that, including myself. Like, I sit back and watch and just listen, because I'm grateful just to sit here amongst all this greatness, like, for real. So it's like, I'm truly grateful for that. But I say all that to say, this is the time where it is balanced, it is equaling out, and the scales have balanced themselves like the scales of my eye, like that Libra scale. And so now you have the divine feminine coming in and paving the way and moving everything out the way, knocking everything the fuck over, because she can do that, has done that, will do that, and will always do that. And so it's happening. And then she got some sons that's coming, that's ready to burn some shit the hell down. At the minute she says, give us the call, it's time to go, it's time to go. So now
I say
I
it all
see
the
that.
time. I can call on my phone right now and I can have a good 20, 30 brothers on my doorstep that would be ready to take heads for me. Because I've been serving my community that long. And that's a flex. That's a flex. When you know that right now I could pick up the phone if I was in an emergency and I don't have to ask no questions, no nothing, it be done. That's the way we have to be served. That's we can't, everybody can't be our baby daddy. Some people got to be our brothers and our business partners and our bodyguards. You know what I'm saying? So I just had to say that, like, it's a good feeling to see that brothers like yourself are ushering us in a proper way, right? Because we can be, sometimes, even though we are the keepers of intuition, we be fussing about time because the way our bodies work, look, shit need to be in order now, right now. And I will knock stuff over to get it done. You're not going to protect my baby, then you're going to get mushed and I'm going to protect my baby. You're not going to make this food move over because you don't know how to season it right. I'm going to make this food. That's just in our nature. So when you step to us and you protect us and you say you're going to do something for us, you got to do it for real and right, because we have zero tolerance. So when you look at that volcano, right, that's red hot lava. That's not soft wind caressing the cheek. That comes after. That comes after the lava spouts, the clouds come, the storm falls, and then the water and the ashes and everything else that comes reconstitutes that soil, and we begin again. So stop looking for us to make you feel good, right? If you're not going to protect us and do those things. So that's what that volcano and this wild, strong energy, it's literally got to shake people awake. And the politics are waking people up now. Even you ain't got to be the deepest conspiracy theorist these days. You could be the average Joe. This stuff we talking about, they used to call us a cult, right? And we conspiracy theorists. Now the average everyday person is talking about these things because they feel it. And Mother Earth and feminine energy makes you feel it. So we got to really understand the importance of our mental health and our emotional hygiene right now. Because as things are getting shaken up, as now you start to feel the way we've been feeling, the way the earth has been feeling, you got to make sure your scruples are tight. You got to make sure your heart is right, because a lot of people ain't going to make it through this shaking and recalibration. Some people are literally going to fall apart and crumble to the ground. They're going to fall apart and crumble to the ground.
It's
and
already
we can't be sitting up worrying about them. Either you on and you're doing your work and you're bringing to the village, or you're not. And it's going to hurt a lot of people's feelings. It's going to make people shaken up. But that's why the best thing you can do is protect us. The best thing that you could do right now for a woman, if you can't do nothing, is protect them. And allow the other brothers and sisters that have different services to do that. But it don't take nothing to protect somebody. You can't be a coward. And it's a lot of cowards. So as brothers start to build their confidence and their belief in their power, they can better protect us. We can better nurture you. And then we can all be grounded while this big recalibration happens.
That's facts. No, I love it. And whew, yeah, we lighten it up now, man. Even the tribe going heavy with it. But let me ask y'all this, because this is something that I feel like plays a major role on both sides, the feminine and the masculine, in regards to the unification of, healthy, prosperous, longevity, having relationships and unions, is how significant is the process of healing, and when it comes to the ability to unify both the masculine, the divine masculine and divine feminine together. Because if one is in one situation, the category in regards to their mental, spiritual, physical, psychological health, and then another is in another, situation or another area, like, how does that work? Can the two coexist and orbit in the same atmosphere, or does something have to happen for the calibration to, calibrate to kind of bring them to a equal, or I should say at least a surface that is kind of compatible in regards to the level of healing and inner work and shadow work that's been done?
Get them, sis.
That's so interesting that you would say that, because in the world right now, we are experiencing the residual a lot of all of the jacked up relationships between men and women. Because, you know, when we're young, it don't matter what nobody says. It's all about sexual attraction. It's all about, oh, he look good, she look good, I'm gonna hit that, hit that, hit that. Then what happens? Start
I
humping.
remember that
You have,
age. That was a fun
Yeah.
age.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Start
Yeah.
humping, the start coming, and it's like, oh, now we got to make it work. Now we got to get married. Now we got to, and see, now there's so many people that are breaking up, that are not together, because that is not sustainable. Two
Yeah.
people that are unhealed, trying to have a long, fortified future, that's never going to help. Unless they are both deciding to go through the process of that healing constantly and consistently. And so what's
Yeah.
happening in the world now is everybody needs help. Everybody needs a whole recalibration, a whole mental focus and mental wellness, which will take me to what Marianna does for the community here in Sacramento. There is every single month, there is a women's wellness for mental health that happens every single month. It happens for men as well, but he's not here right now. I chat to you, brother. Right now, we're talking about the divine feminine and what she's doing. And so that is the beginning. Those are the beginning steps for everyone. Now, these wellness sessions that are happening every month, it's not just for older women or young, it's for grown women, young women. She inspires people to bring your daughters, bring your sisters, bring whoever, because we all need it. And being the matriarch, you got to have your shit right if you want to attract that rightness, because your vibrational frequency is attracting everything that you are, everything that you don't talk about. You don't have to talk about it. It's your vibrational frequency in your subconscious thought. It is creating everything in your world. And so a lot of people kind of get, you know, might not agree with me on this, but the world is the way that it is because of the imbalance in the woman. You know what I'm saying? It's like we made the men be what they are. And I know you don't like that. You don't like to hear that. But because there are divine feminine women here now, it is important for us to check each other. And I'm going to say this. So there's something that you talked about, Orisha Gbemi, about why you had to cancel some situations. We're not going to get into the depths of that. But there are women in our society that take this divine label of the divine feminine, and they think that everything that they say is law. They can come up, they can touch a man, they can grab on him, they can be sexy to him, they could, you know, do whatever they want. And it's cool because I'm the woman, I could do that. Come over here and let me show you what I could do. You know, constantly giving this energy to the divine masculine, right? And so we're teaching them, this is what we're teaching. This is how I want you to do me. And this is what I'm showing you. So how else are they learning? Even when we talk about the pornography and all of these things, or pornography, I guess we got to say on
Yeah.
but all of these things, it's like the mother has made it so that it can be the way that it is. All of the time that you stood quiet and you have not spoken when your daughters have been hurt, when your sisters have been hurt, all of the time that you shushed your children and said, no, don't say that about this person or that person. That's the mother doing the training. This is what she's showing. It's okay to have secrets. It's okay to give your body up if you're getting something like cash in return. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yes, we're saying it's a wonderful thing, the divine feminine, but now we're gonna keep it real too, because we need to check ourselves and we need to check our sisters about what we've been doing in the world.
Yeah.
I got
So,
it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
On that part where you asked about, you know, how to go about the healing, right? I think there's been some movements going on. No matter what our social media pumps up in the algorithm, that makes us look crazy and like we're all in these toxic podcasts talking about men and women. Like, I know that's what they pump because that's what the TV does. Like this, that's their algorithm. So what we see is not a real reflection that there's a lot of positive and healthy men and women in this world. There's a lot of positive and healthy brothers and sisters in this world. They're not going to show that. And if we know that, the media is always showing the worst of us, we can't believe that we're the only few out here. There's a lot of us. And so part of the healing is making sure that, yes, just like the Men's Wellness Fellowship, right? The brothers meet in Sacramento and in Oakland. And then us sisters meet. We're in Sacramento, and this month will be our first time in Oakland. And so it's about us making sure that we have those spaces for rites of passage separately so that we can work on those internal issues. But now is the time for us to start co-facilitating healing experiences together and making sure that when you show up, the intention is not to find a mate. Not right away. It is okay for us to learn that a new and healthy entry point is, can you be friends?
Yes.
Then can you be brothers and sisters? Then once you vet that out, you'll know if that's your mate. But a lot of the times, because we are attracted and we don't have a certain amount of discipline, we don't really get to know, and we weren't taught how to get to know another human being at a healthy speed and rate. Right? I'm going to be 47 years old this year, right? And it's taken me time to learn the preciousness and the sacredness and what comes when you take your time. Because if it's a friendship and you realize, hey, he's not even a good friend, then we already know that he's not going to be a good partner. Or if you're like, hey, she's not really a good sister to me and to the community, then she's not qualified at this point in time to be my lover. Right. And so I think we all need practice on what healthy entry points are to learning how, as Black men and women, as melanated people, men and women, how are we going to be able to just coexist and see each other for the human? And even if we are attracted, be strong enough and disciplined enough to say, hey, I want to take time because I don't want to get fucked up and I don't want to fuck you up just because we can't handle our lust. And that takes a spiritual confidence. That takes a spiritual discipline so that we're not wasting seed, so that we're not making babies not out of love anymore. We can't afford to do that. We're supposed to make a lot of sweet love with healthy people that we would be okay with having a child and raising a human being up. We didn't learn how to do that. So now that we know better, we must do better. So we got to start having healthy networking events and just pure events where, hey, I want to be your friend. I want to be your business partner. I want to be your brother, and give that a good 6 months to a year before you start fucking.
I love it. Listen, let me give a shout out real quick to a couple of dope comments I wanted to share, but I didn't want to interrupt the flow, and then I'm gonna jump right back in. But shout out to, I hope I'm saying this right, Fan Tracy 7257. I appreciate you joining the channel membership, man. Much love and appreciation. Welcome to the tribe. So I want to give her a shout out. Then let me see. Melanin 4267 been dropping all kinds of bombs in the comments. So I think the first one was we ridden the planet of pestilence. That's facts, and that's exactly what's happening. And then they double back with, this is not about ego, it's about order. I love that. That's real. That's real talk right there. So they both double team me with the dope comments. So yeah, dually Ashe energy igniter. So shout out to them too, man, for dropping the heat in the comments. But I definitely agree with everything both of y'all just said, and the fact that what Miss Marianna Sekhmet Maat just dropped is like, that's a real thing, because I feel like when you can build with somebody on that level and you know that you can build with them all the way through and through, because you know they solid and they're about, you know what I'm saying, self, but they're about self with discipline and with focus and with intention and with a clear mission. And you know that their mission doesn't involve just them, me, I, and then they have like the vision, they have the wherewithal and the bandwidth to be able to see the bigger picture. To me, it makes it a whole lot easier for me to rock with somebody like that, because I know you definitely should have, if you don't have my back 100,000,000%, you definitely got, you know what I'm saying, the back of what I stand for 100, you know. So therefore, I can rock with you on another level, because at least I know that you have it within you, within, you know, your structure, how you're, you know, you're made, your ethos, your values, interests, and principles, that those are at least in alignment. So if I got that, then I know I can kind of at least entertain that aspect of knowing, well, at least I know I got this within this particular, you know what I'm saying, person or this particular relationship. And that goes for men too, like brothers who I rock with, or, you know what I'm saying, if there's a certain level of, I feel like, camaraderie there, if that camaraderie is not there at that level, I can't really rock with it, because I don't know that I can go all the way where it might be time to go all the way. I don't know if you're going to come all the way. You might jump halfway and you might go back. I can't go to war with somebody who ain't going all the way. You got to, no, I'm serious though. I'm not even playing with that, like, because you have to know that my life is on the line. You know what I mean? Or if not, my, you know, people, you know, we're looking at the whole tribe now. So this a real thing. And there's a lot of people who play the role or play the position but they really ain't about that life. And somebody left a comment the other day about tired of hearing people talking about this and talking about that, but not doing anything. And I respectfully asked them, please speak on what you know, because you don't know what everybody, you know what I mean?
Or
I don't know what
me
everybody
what the hell
don't
you
want to know.
doing? What you doing?
But
Tell
you
me
know what I'm saying? But I know what I am doing, and I know where I'm willing to go with it. So please just speak on that part. You know what I mean?
Know what?
So
Anybody that says something like that, a comment like that, that means they ain't doing nothing, right? Because they would at least be able to speak of themselves and say, well, this is what I do and this is my cause, and you could be a part of it. But you know, a good way to vet through partnership, because I know like we're talking about this and it can turn into something where it's like, nah, make it plain. Like, how do I do that? That sounds great, Miss Marianna. That sounds great, sister. Like that sounds cool. But how do you do that? What I'm learning is that the best way to take those step-by-step phases is to build something with the person. Whether that's a new sister friend, like me and her, we done good business with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know she does good business. And that's a better way than just in getting into relationships off of hopes and dreams. What can we produce? She'll tell you to this day. The first time we kicked it, I was like, all right, what we doing? What we here to do? And she was like, damn, sis. I'm like, but that's what, let's get to it. Like, what we here to exchange. So I think the best way to start vetting through healthy friendships, you know, healthy community members, healthy business opportunities, is what can we build together that's not going to take forever to build, because people be trying to nation build and do 10-year projects. What can we do over the next 30 days that can be of exchange or service to each other? And you'll see what a person's about based on how they handle their business. You'll see what a person's about when you both make a 50-50 commitment to build something, not something that'll break you, but something that will improve you, right? So if you know, like, oh, we said we was going to do this little project, it came out cool, we made, you know, a rack off of it, a little pocket change off of it, what you want to build together next. Then you know, okay, that sister, she did her 3 things on her to-do list, I did mine. Hey, I kind of like her. Let's move on to the next project. But sometimes we jump into relationships just all head in because it look good, smell good, taste good, sound good. And I've been there. I'm not speaking from a space of unlived experience, right? But the attraction or the desire or the dream is there, but the vetting process to see if those chords come together, right? If those seasons blend in a graceful way. Like, that is how sometimes we mess around and be like, man, you know, one thing that would have helped me is if I just took my damn time. If I took my time, I would have saw the signs. I would have saw where the malfunctions are, where the growth is, where the opportunity is. And I might not have messed around and, you know, did A, B, or C with you. So I want to do more facilitations and things like this where brothers and sisters could really come around. Because I have beautiful relationships with people in my life that are strictly brotherly, sisterly. And I'm like, man, I'm so glad I have you in my life. And that wasn't ruined in that way. Or even if it is a later on in life decision, it's because it's from a pure space. So it's just really important that we learn how to be friends. We know how to protect each other. We know how to do business and nation build. Once we start doing that, we'll know who our partners and mates are. I think that will come, and we won't prematurely make decisions that may unintentionally harm ourselves.
There's one important thing that has to happen, though, before we even get to that point of collaborating with other people. You got to come to one. You got to come to yourself. You got to get to that self-mastery, knowing who you are, know thyself, because this relationship conflict that's happening, it's not just happening among men and women. Women and women, men and men, like the energy that's happening now of jealousy, inconsistency, all of these different things, they're happening globally. It's not male or female. You know, and so in order for us to come together as a community, we have to come together with ourselves and be one. Because one of the things that's really important is that people have this idea that they have to get everything from out there. And this person is going to help me. So I'm going to, you know, something that Marianna said kind of stung me, which is that whole thing of we see people and it's like, oh, let me get with them because I know they can help me with da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I think we've all been there. And then you realize, do I really want to fuck with this person like at all? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, you know, they see somebody like with money, right? And they're just like, okay, I get to the bag, so I'm gonna do whatever I need to do. And they're not recognizing that when you are one with yourself and you recognize yourself, you recognize that you are the money, an infinite being, and you liquidate your
Yeah.
assets through your gifts and talents.
Yeah.
And you have to get to that point of knowing that, because it's scary to not know it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you don't know who you are, that's when you succumb to fear. That's when you're
Yeah.
like, oh, well, I can't do nothing else. So let me go ahead and go to this club. You know what I'm saying? I can't do nothing else. So let me go ahead and take this stash to another country. You know what I'm saying? We start thinking really on the sense of, no, but we have to survive. So in that space of we have to survive, we make everything okay. You know, just like in this society, we think that being Beyonce, oh no, that's great because she got her money. It don't matter. It doesn't matter that she's completely sold out and
I
that
don't care what you say. I'm getting my money. I'm getting money. That's all that you
and
need.
we make that okay.
But what is
As
that
long
money
as you
gonna
got
do
the
when
money,
there
it's
ain't no
okay.
such thing no more, or the dollar gets crashed through this nuclear, you know, a potential nuclear
There you
war?
go.
That's where it comes back to knowing thyself and knowing who and what you are. Because this is definitely, we're in the process of the reset, as both of you have definitely stated. So we're seeing, you know, Mother Earth herself cleanse herself and rid herself. A shout out to the tribe of saying of the parasites. So when that happens, this whole structure and this whole construct that we all have been born and raised in and lived all of our lives in is done. It's a wrap. So then what are you going to do? Who is going to be the ones who are prepared to build the new civilization? Because this one's dead. It's a wrap. We're all watching it right before our very eyes. So now, who do we rely on? Who's saying that? So who can I run to? Who can escape into that? Who you gonna run to? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, go ahead. My vocals ain't all the way right. I was gonna try to chime in, but you know, I ain't drinking green tea.
Who can I run to?
Yeah, who you gonna run to though? That's real.
Yeah.
Like, you can't. I feel like I can't trust nobody that can trust me. And so if I ain't on my shit and I ain't got my A game up, you know what I'm saying? Then I can't rely on nobody else. So then what I'm gonna do? You know what I mean?
You know, and a lot of people, you know, not to cut your wisdom, but a lot of people on this idea of trust, right? A lot of people run around and say they got trust issues, but really what they're saying is I don't trust myself. Let me break it down. Let me really break it down, right? A lot of people might be able to refer to something in their past, in their trauma, right? That broke their trust. That's legitimate stuff, right? But when that becomes your identity forever, what it is you have said you don't know how to trust yourself and your own decision making and your own discernment, whether or not if you engage with the person, you don't know how to have a good judge of character to be able to admit whether or not you can trust your decision on if you're going to deal with them or not. Because at the end of the day, most of the people that we're dealing with, we have brought into our life in one way or another. So if what you're saying is I don't trust somebody, they're going to hurt me. What you're saying is you don't trust yourself. That when you start seeing the signs that let you know this person's character is not safe, it's not worthy, it's not protective, that I just need to not deal with this person. What it is you're overlooking the red flags because you're getting something you want or you like, right? But ultimately, people will show you who they are. And when you're in tune with yourself and you're honest with yourself, you know when somebody else isn't honest. You know, when somebody else isn't honest with themselves. So that's, again, I'm always going to refer back to my aunt as a social wellness tool, right? I always teach from the first three principles, because the first three principles in that order, truth, justice, and righteousness, beget and cultivate balance, harmony, reciprocity, order. It can't happen out of order. So when you hear my aunt, when you know, not just am I being truthful with these people, places, or things, it's also you got to ask yourself, is this person, place, or things being honest with me? Whether or not they're going to admit it, whether or not they want to apologize for it, whether or not they're going to give you closure. If you know in your mind and in your gut that someone is not being truthful to them, then be enough with them. If you know justice, if someone's not being fair with them, it's not all about, oh, I'm always fair with everybody else. Yeah, that's the first step. But if you know that people, or organization, or group, a person isn't fair to you, enough. Righteousness. If a person is unhealthy, always doing unhealthy things, and because you're so busy loving them unconditionally and, you know, willing to want to be their ride or die, but their lifestyle is not safe or healthy, enough.
That's it.
Not do that, because if we don't honor those first three things, am I being truthful to you? Are you be truthful to me? Am I being just to you? Are you being just to me? Am I being righteous to you? Are you being righteous and healthy to me? If we can't get past those three boxes, there is no balance. There is no harmony. There is no reciprocity. There is no order. None.
Yeah.
Right? So as we are making decisions on relationships, on business, on decisions that we have to make, we go through that filter. Am I being honest with them? Are they being honest with me? Well, I know I'm being honest, but I know this motherfucker ain't being honest. I got to cut this business exchange.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Am I doing all the things I'm supposed to do for this boo? And am I showing up and being present? And am I being safe? And I'm being attentive? But boo ain't really doing that out her natural will. You know, I'm having to coax that out of her. That ain't fair. Go on and get rid of boo. Right?
Yes, sir.
Am I serving this organization? And am I being righteous and being healthy? But everybody is back here doing something other than when we preach to the community? Nah, we can't deal with that. That's not righteous. So that's how we use that compass of Ma'at. And I think sometimes, you know, we see her and, you know, the idea of her and the story of her and the theory of her, right? But she really is a social tool practice.
Yes.
And we have to ingrain that. And so the divine feminine right now, what she is doing is she is being willing to fight either with her fist, with her silence, with her meditation, with her prayer, with her gardening, with her meditation, all these different ways that we are showing up. We are returning to the ancient medicines that we know is going to be required to restore this planet and bring it to a balance. It ain't going to be pretty, but it's going to be worth it.
I know that's right. Yeah, look, I love it. And real quick, shout out to Roger Williams, 6878 is being an accountability partner out. Hell no, it ain't outdated. I feel like that's going to be required.
Let me know.
All the time in the universe. Because look, I definitely need accountability. You know what I mean? Because look, if you don't have somebody that's going to hold you accountable, you'll easily let yourself quit. You'll easily let yourself, you know what I'm saying, slack. You'll easily let yourself fall off, underperform. You know what I mean? There's so many different things. I feel like if you don't have nobody who is going to snatch you by the collar and keep it a buck with you, you're going to have some problems. And look,
but you know what? I think we got to do work in that accountability area.
Yeah.
Well, I was just about to say my thing is,
but sometimes we be punitive to people and we be doing folks mean because we trying to teach them something. So I think we do have to learn accountability, but I think we have to have a little bit more practice on how do we go about holding people accountable. Because, you know, sometimes, not saying you, Bimmy, but I'm just saying some people will be so cutthroat and it's like, damn, right? I'm okay. This is the first time. Let me soak it in. Let me own it. It takes a minute to own your shit, right? By the way, buy my book. It's a workbook called Own Your Shit, right? It takes a lot when somebody smacks you over the face and you like, ugh, I'm selfish. I'm irresponsible. I procrastinate. I'm depressing, right? Like it's hard when somebody wakes you up. So I think like our ancestors and our elders say, not everybody's alarm clock goes off at the same time.
No, nobody.
So with that being said, if you're going to shake somebody out their sleep, I don't like being woken up in a rush. So all I'm saying is hold me accountable, but be kind and loving when you do it, at least the first time. If I don't get it the second and the third time, you can strike me out, right? But I think sometimes the conscious community, right, we have low patience as if we were not once in the dark. Right. Sometimes the conscious community wants to slap you over the head with the truth so hard that it's like, dang, the truth gotta hurt. Actually, it doesn't. I love speaking the truth with honey. I will say with some cayenne too, but ultimately I'd love to speak from a very soft and generous and calm and regulated manner, right? I elevate my voice when the passion comes, but ultimately the truth doesn't have to be brutal. Honesty doesn't have to be brutal. Honesty just needs to be present. It just needs to be present and it needs to be firm. That's it.
And I'm gonna tell you, and everything you said is so real, because where I was going is that I am my biggest critic and hardest accountability person to be accountable for. Like I know for a fact I might go hard on certain people in certain instances and situations. I know I do, but I'll never go harder on somebody else than I do on myself. Period.
That's right.
Because I know who and what I am, and I know how those voices respond to certain, you know what I'm saying, arguments when I get into them internal dialects and they be cussing each other out and moving furniture around, but I know who to listen to when, you know what I'm saying, when the righteousness comes out. But what you said is so spot on, because I had another situation this week with somebody, you know, I know trolls and bots are out there and all that. I don't take the comments and all that stuff serious. And honestly, I don't take social media serious. Like, I am who I am. I do this in real life. I don't need no fucking camera, no internet, no none of that to do what I do. I've been doing this since 2016, honestly. So in person with real mics in front of real crowds. So I just want to say that humbly, but at the same time, there's people that talk reckless, and I feel like they do that because they got, you know, them Twitter fingers, or they're on this internet and they think that that's cool. So I say all that to say that I had a situation with somebody talking greasy and, you know, making little slick comments, and I started to go in on them. I started to hit them with the boats and, you know, let the Jagoon energy deal with it. But I was like, nah, Spirit kind of calmed me down, and literally I heard the same exact sentiments you just shared within what you just said in your last, with your last presentation of the words. So it's like I let Spirit guide me, and I went focused on or be guided by the healing aspect of communication. And so I sat there and I read the message, and I read it like 3 or 4 times, and I internalized it, and then I gave them a divine, consultation from Spirit, to let them know, hey, if you here doing this for this reason, Spirit's telling me you should be doing other things. And I really just gave it to him. And I did it sincerely, because it's easy to do, going aside somebody's head, especially if they come at you first. But I feel like to lead by example, you got to also know how, to use the velvet glove and not always the iron fist. I've always been an iron fist person, you know what I mean? But I give gratitude and thanks to healing and growth. And I got a whole lot more to go. First and foremost, I ain't perfect, never gonna be, but I'm grateful for it. I'm serious though, because a lot of people try to put themselves on pedestals. That's something I take pride in not doing. So I know I got a whole lot more to go, but I'm grateful for where I've come from, because I know before it was nothing but the iron fist. So now I'm grateful to have the emotional intelligence to decipher a moment and figure out when to use the velvet glove versus always going to the iron fist. And I feel like we have to do that within ourselves as well, because once we learn how to do that within ourselves, we can then uplift ourselves and empower ourselves without needing no validation or no pat on the back from somebody outside. You know what I mean? So that's where I give gratitude and thanks to you sharing that, those words, because it resonated within me, something that just took place this week with not going upside somebody's head. And,
I said, oops,
I'm glad
your
you
head.
know
I said, oops,
about
upside your head. Hey, I said, oops, upside your head.
Yes,
You
man.
almost got him. You was about to get catch a
Man,
case out here. You look, we ain't got no bail money for you, so you better watch it.
What's really interesting about that too, and I like that you said that, Orisha Gbemi, because that's what's big for me, is that accountability. When you get an accountability partner, and I think that's great if you want to get an accountability partner. I guess for me, I'm just in the stage of my life where I too am my own accountability partner, because you have to know when nobody's watching, when nobody's looking, what are you doing? You know what I mean? I know for me, being an entrepreneur, being a person that's on my own, there's certain things that I want in life. I can't get it if I don't get it done. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I feel like it, I could really just rest all day long and like not work out, not do anything. So if I have somebody, if I got to wait for somebody to say, hey, yo, did you work out today? Yo, did you do this today? Like, I can't live like, I can't do that. And it also sharpens your own discernment. The better you know yourself, the better you know other people. Because it's not even about knowing so much about them. It's about recognizing your energy. And like Marianna was saying earlier, oh, that's not a fit for me, because I know myself. So I already know I don't have to correct you. I don't have to say you doing shit wrong. I have to just mind myself and make the adjustments in myself. I'm not trying to be involved in that situation. You know what I'm saying? And that comes from your self-work, from your ability to align yourself, to have your discernment, and to go through all of the motions that a human goes through, right? And this is really important, because in my life path, I was called to be with myself. Like, I never thought I had to be with myself, because I grew up with a family of 6 and always had people around me. I was in a relationship. I was like, no, I'm good. I'm like, solo? What? No, I don't have to do none of that. But
a lot of people like that though too.
Mother Gaia, the Most High, she was like, oh no, girl, you're gonna have to get this lesson. And it is about, it was the best, it's been the best experience of my life, to be with myself and to take accountability for myself and recognize that every single thing that has happened in my life, good, bad, or indifferent, is because of me. It's all my fault. I created everything in my world through my vibrational frequency and everything that I attract. So I gotta say, and now that I know this, now it's easier for me to have an accountability partner, because I'm able to, I'm not counting on them like that, but we can work with each other, because we both know, where we're at. Just like Marianna was saying, I already know if I call Marianna for anything, I already know. I don't have, oh, I wonder if she's going to do it. I wonder what kind of person she is. I already know. So it's just such a beautiful thing to be able to have that confidence in your sister and say, take care of this and know that they're going to take care of it. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, because nation
How
building is really confidence building. Nation building is confidence building. And that's how the divine feminine is starting to actualize herself in this new generation, because we are building our confidence. When you start getting rid of your unhealed trauma, your triggers, your broken, wounded identity, your sense of confidence builds. Your sense of self and awareness of who you are and not who you are when your trauma is talking is real. So when that is real, your confidence is real. When your confidence is real, you know what you're worthy. And when you're worthy, you know what you won't tolerate. So a lot of the times the divine feminine might seem very forward, but we don't have time to play. Like there's a plan of steps and plan of actions, a order of operations, if you will. And because we ran ourselves through that order of operation, we have no problem expecting everybody else to have gone through that too. So when she's talking about us like doing our self-work, know thyself, one of the most ancient mantras around the world, to know thyself is the best way to have a healthy relationship with others. And look, let me tell you this. I have a mantra that I was going by for like 2.5 years strong, saying it every day, a couple times a day. And around the end of 2024, I stopped saying the mantra. I wasn't like saying it. I wasn't meditating on it. It just, it was strong for a minute and it was working, but I stopped. And this is how I know our mantras do work and our affirmations do mean something when you really say it like a prayer consistently, right? Because you're reprogramming yourself on a cellular level, on a frequency level, the same way these musics are. And so my mantra, and I gift this to the tribe, is my mantra was high level, non-negotiable, discipline, and self-care. That shit is powerful. High level, meaning to the best, operating out of my power, my excellence. Non-negotiable, I don't care who, what, when, or where, why. I am not going to sacrifice these practices and these principles for any situation. High level, non-negotiable discipline, meaning I stick to it for myself and for creator. And self-care. That when I'm back in that bag again, it's showing in how I'm looking, it's showing in how I'm feeling. And just me abandoning that for like a year in my accountability work, since we're talking about accountability, right? I saw the difference in how I worked out or not. I saw the difference in what I was putting on my tongue. I saw the difference on the kind of energy and relationship frequencies, whatever. As soon as I returned back to this mantra, this spiritual order of operation system, high level, non-negotiable, discipline and self-care, half of the things that I considered problems that were nagging me went away. Because there's no way if you're operating by ma'at, being truthful, being fair, being righteous, and then you add that with I'm high level at whatever I say I'm going to do, I'm going to be the best. I'm non-negotiable with it, so you can't make me betray my character. I'm not going anywhere other than my discipline and my self-care. That's half the problem most of the time in who we dealing with and what we're tolerating. And so I just say that, I give that mantra. I hope people now or in the future write that down. High level, non-negotiable, discipline and self-care. That's operating like a God. When we're not being our God self, we're not eating right. When we're not being our God self, we're not working out. We're not being creative. We're not in nature. Usually we can find that we're not doing those things. So anytime we're in the soil, anytime we're serving the community and the babies and the elders, anytime we're doing self-care, anytime we're working out, prepping our food, stockpiling our items for whatever war is to come, we feel prepared. We feel confident, right? But that requires high level, non-negotiable discipline and self-care. This is my order of operation for nation building, for myself as a community member first. If I don't do that, I can't offer anything else to anybody else in a good way. So the people that I associate with, they got to be in that lifestyle, because either I'm associated with you or not. So if you're not willing to do that, I'm not really messing with you. So there's certain people that have just naturally fallen off, no guilt, no shame, no nothing, but we're not serving the same spiritual practices. We're not present with each other, supporting each other up front. So we can't expect it to be fruitful when we're not digging in this soil and planting and growing these seeds together. So I just think when we're talking about the divine feminine, we're talking about knowing thyself. It's having something that you commit to that keeps you aligned for your own purpose, that you stay passionate and excited about, just like you would if you had a good lover. just like you would to take care of your babies. You got to come from that same creative, empowered force and energy center to be able to say, I love myself that strong. And these things are, I won't negotiate and I won't compromise them for anything. And as soon as I do that, I should be on point. I'm feeling real good right now with my mantra and my practice being back.
I know that. Look, and speaking of mantras, man, Tribe, if y'all, for those who are in any of the communities, and you don't have to be either, but I want y'all opinion on this because I gotta put some presentations out there. But speaking of that, I'm glad you spoke of mantras because shout out to OJ Yemi for coming through last week and doing a dope presentation on teaching us our cosmic archetype. Yeah, man, our kin numbers. So shout out to the tribe because I looked up the one for the actual channel for the community, and it's dope. It came out kin number 170. And then our archetype is white magnetic dog collectively. So we got a mantra that comes with it. And I got a presentation coming for this kin number and archetype family. So I can't wait to share it with y'all. But the mantra is for the collective of the Ashe tribe in the channel. It says, I unify in order to love. Attracting loyalty, I seal the process of heart. With the magnetic tone of purpose, I am guided by my own power doubled. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Oh. So yeah, I was like, yeah, that's dope. But anyway, I say all that to say the mantras is real, man. I can't wait to share this one with the tribe because it's a real thing.
Yeah. You know, my sister the other day, my good sister, April Cochran Malden, Miss Queen Bastet, and she was telling me about the flex of that vibration and that energy, that feline. And she was really talking about how devotion is a privilege. So when you're devoted to something, right, it's a privilege to not only receive, but when you're devoted to something, it's a privilege to give. And so a lot of our language has to shift, right? Like even in religion, where they talk about making sacrifices and stuff like that, you're making an offering. You're making an offering. You're not at loss because you've abundantly have to give to the spirit, to the community, to your lover, to your whatever. Like you're operating at this healthy space to where you are abundant in your energy. So you have extra give. You're healthy and strong so you can be physically present with the people that you love. So we're not operating from a space of deficit and that we're not sacrificing. We're operating from a space of abundance, which means we have an overflow and we have it to share. I think that's really important to understand when you want to serve and be in partnership with the divine feminine. We're not trying to punk you just to serve us first. We're just trying to get to that divine order of alchemy, right? Of just like the earth has soil, but you have to put at least one seed in it. And then she will do what she do. And then you'll get multiple pieces of fruit with hundreds of seeds in it. That's just the natural order of things. So as you are shedding your patriarchy, for us brothers and us sisters who believe in a lot of the power dynamic structures of patriarchy, understand that we're not asking you to sacrifice your freedom. We're not asking you to give us blind trust. You should never give your love and devotion to a woman who is not upright in her character, in her heart, and there to love, and not someone who's going to take from you. We're not talking about those women. We're talking about the women who you know are operating as children of God, who you know are fighting the battle to stay as pure as possible, who you know need your service. When you give them that one seed, you will be taken care of. And you have to have faith in that. The same way you have had faith in a man who has been doing horribly on how they're managing the planet. And that's not man hating, because I love men, but they need us in partnership, and they've forgotten that. They've made us their slave. So even before race-based slavery, people have been doing this to women, and there's reasons for that. That's a whole nother podcast. But now, as our sister says, it's about finding that sacred balance in the middle. I'm gonna tell you this: I got about 4 personalities. And if you really get to know a woman, and a woman really knows thyself, she really does have a personality per season, at minimum, right? I have a bubbly, excited little girl inside of me that I will break out in song and dance and be as goofy, as silly as possible. And I activate her and allow her in my life every day, right? I have a passionate, fiery, you know what I'm saying, 20-year-old in me that will not back down. And if you caught her on a good day back in the day, she might have tatted Thug Life on her chest, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want to give her up, and I activate her, that warrior, when I need her, right? I also have a sultry, creative, erotic, beautiful woman who I've had to fight to learn how to love her and not over sexualize her, but understand her power. And then I got an old mama that she'll just pop up and be an old wise woman. I sound like an old lady from a country somewhere. You could get all of that. You might mess around and get all of that in one conversation, but a woman can only access that depth of all of those different flavors and personalities in herself when she does the know thyself work. So she's not in denial of what those different personalities are capable of doing, good or bad. So I know how I could be a mischievous little sneaky little girl if I'm not careful. I have to know thyself in that stage and not allow her to operate anything less than a child of God, right? I got to know that little sassy little loudmouth warrior 20-year-old that when she gets to talking, to make sure I don't chop off my whole own head with the machete with my passion. I also got to check the sultry one, because she'll get me in some mischief that I don't need to be dealing with, and people I don't need to be dealing with at all. And I also got to know the power of Big Mama when she shows up, that I'm graceful and I'm wise and I'm making sure to give the nurturing necessary. When I work with all those in tandem, I surprise myself. So that's all we're trying to do, is get to know all those little sacred geometrical patterns and pieces inside of our flow. And when you support a woman doing that, what she becomes and the royalty that she exudes and the confidence and empowerment that she has, you get blessed with all of that. So understand that when we're doing this healing work and we're screaming about knowing thyself and we're asking for honor, we're asking you to honor all those aspects that we are, as we are learning how to honor all of those aspects that we are. And then you can do the same for yourself, brothers, so we can get to some nation building. And that is really what we're talking about today.
That's facts. Yes, sir. And one of the questions I had before we go to the next level or the next page of this conversation is how, and I would love to hear y'all's opinion, because I know both of y'all have worked with a lot of people in a lot of different industries and a lot of different capacities, right? So how significant is it to not have ego when you're doing collective work, when you're doing group work, when you're in, you know what I'm saying, a teamwork type atmosphere? Like, for example, us three, and not just y'all, but so many other people who I've been blessed to have, you know, in my orbit, you know, to be a part of this channel, we've all worked together seamlessly. You know what I mean? Like literally from the first time till now, you know what I mean? Like it just works seamlessly. So, but I also know it doesn't necessarily always flow like that, you know, because of this major elephant in the room, which is ego. Where does ego come from, and why is that such a Achilles heel, you know, of us as a community and as a culture, that a lot of times you don't see great work together from great sources, from great people who have great skills or great, you know, abilities working together in unison because of this thing called ego? Where does that come from, and how do we fix that?
Go get it, sis.
The ego. The ego is my friend. I love the ego. The ego is here to protect us, right? Well, it thinks it's here to protect us. But the thing about the ego, because some people say kill the ego, you cannot. It is a part of who you are. And the whole point is to have it in balance within yourself. And so when you have this ego in check, can't nobody fool with you. You're able to go and be a part of a platform, and you can listen. You can listen and hear what is being spoken. And then when it's your time to share, then you're able to share without the ego and with the enjoyment of the conversation that is flowing, you know? So it's not about getting rid of the ego, being mad at the ego. It is about being in balance. Sometimes I call my ego Conchita, she's the devil. And I and I have to say, like, this, take a seat. You know what I'm saying? But I know when it is, and you can feel it within you. Like when that ego starts to rise within you, you know what it is, because it's like this uncomfortable feeling, and you start having thoughts like, well, who do they think they are? And why am I not speaking? And and are they looking at me? And what do they? That's the ego that's always showing up, because it's there around you. And if you look at it in that way and know that the ego is not the controller of you, then you're able to have a better relationship with that part of yourself. Because like Marianna said, we have a lot of different sides of our personality, and that ego hides behind a lot of those personalities. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't have it in check, then you allow the ego and the personality to take over, and you're like, oh, that wasn't me, that was Conchita, she did. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to have, it goes right back to your self-mastery and knowing thyself so that you could check yourself. Marianna?
Yeah. So, on the ego, I think we have to always recognize the creator's integrative approach to how we were built, how we are designed, right? So I believe that there's a healthy part of your ego, and I think there's an unhealthy part of your ego. And so if I'm going to be forthcoming in this moment, when I'm not operating out of the healthiest part of my ego, and I start to feel it because it is a certain energy, it begets negative thoughts or feelings or discomfort, I quickly recalibrate myself and say, where's God in the situation?
I like that.
Yeah.
Right? So when I know that 3-letter word ego pops up, and it is not the God, goddess, celebratory, cooperative, kind side of me, and it's coming from a lower vibration of something that's not healthy, if I start feeling that way, and I know I start behaving or speaking a certain way, the first thing I do to recalibrate myself is, where's God in the situation? Let me go over wherever God is. If God's telling me I need to go apologize for that unintentional thing I said, then go be accountable and do it. If God, not my ego, because if I go to what my ego says, my ego gonna be like, shit, you ain't got to say nothing, right?
That's
The ego be like, I wish I would, right?
Yeah.
But I need some of that in this world too. Like in certain environments, in certain places, I have to armor myself up if I don't have a king there to do it for me.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a real thing.
And I can do it if I have a king there for me too. But the point is like we're in this space now where we have to just know that it's okay to have ego, because the ego is like what you think of yourself and what other people think of you. It's kind of like shame, right? Old school people would say you got to have a little bit of shame so you won't just do whatever, right? Not shaming you like you're a bad person, but you do want to have, I do care about what my elders think about me.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's a healthy side of my ego. That doesn't mean, oh, I'm never going to cuss and I'm going to be perfect because I have elders. I'm still going to be myself, but I have young people looking up to me. I got to think about the choices I make. So that's the healthy side of my ego, considering, am I being of wise choice, of wise voice, of wise action? Right? Am I do I treat people well, and do I make people feel good when they're in my presence or in my exchange? Right? Like my healthy side of my ego is checking for that, because if I'm not making people feel better because of my presence, and I'm taking away from an environment or making a person feel bad, then that means my ego is present in a bad way, and I'm not considering more than myself. So I think it's just important that we recognize that the ego functions in more than one way, just like our bodies function in more than one way. We just have to learn how to work with it and use that inner compass of Ma'at. If it gets off the pathway, I need to steer to the left a little bit. You know what I'm saying? How my energy was this, or my attitude was that, or my decision was risky, or whatever, to get back on track. Because when we have to get our heart weighed, when we have to go and see if our heart is light as a feather, it's not whether or not we've ever done anything that was wrong or unfair. It's not, doesn't mean we never lied or cheated or stolen. It means we finally woke up to that and we realized that is not the path. And now that we have a choice, we choose not to go down that path again. That is what's going to weigh if your heart is lighter than a feather. If you know better and you don't do no better, then your consequence and your heart getting gobbled up at the end of the judgment, that's on you.
Yeah.
But if you don't know better, and then eventually you have to learn and you apply it, your heart will balance out, because your deeds after that will outweigh that of Isfet. It will outweigh of the harmful things that you may have done to yourself and others.
Could I share a mantra about that? This was a mantra my label mate had back in the day. Let me check my mic.
Oh, hold on. Let me give you the highlight. Give her the whole stage real quick.
All right. Okay, y'all ready?
Ready.
You better check yourself before you wreck yourself. You better check yourself before you wreck yourself. You better check yourself before you wreck yourself. Because if you don't check yourself, it's bad for your health.
Yes, that's an ancient African proverb. Ain't you
Yes,
happy,
from the great
Barbara?
philosopher known as
Yes.
O'Shea Jackson, also known as Ice
That's right.
Cube, hailing out of the West
Yes.
Coast. Matter of fact, out of Cali. You know what I mean? So yeah. So we're gonna give it the great
Yes.
philosopher known as
Yes.
Cube. You know, his flowers. Nah, that's a real thing. Look, it must be nice to only have 4 voices because I probably got like 44 in this thing, boy. 'Cause I don't know what they do. They got a lot going
Those are
on,
the
man.
main
For real.
characters. Those are the
Oh
main
man, they
characters.
got a lot going. They get on my nerves sometimes. I'm not joking. I'm serious too. They get on my nerves sometimes, boy. All right, so with that, let's get into the marching orders, or I should say the strategy. So when it comes to where we are now, I know we definitely we're speaking to connecting with the earth, tilling the earth, you know, soil with the seeds and the food, and you know the gas mask, and you know so many other things. And we're gonna have another call to go way deeper into the necessities to prepare for this possible, you know, maybe possible. Hopefully it don't happen, but maybe possible, you know, attack on the soil that we reside on. So with that, where will we send the tribe in regards to us preparing for this, you know, spiritually for this particular war? Because the war been going on, as far as I know, all since before all us was born, and you know, who knows how long before that. But where we are now, looking at WWIII or W3 World War III, and then also the potential for, you know, attacks on U.S. soil. Where would we go to give the tribe the heads up on how to sustain with food, you know, gas masks, clothing, shelter, protection, all the good stuff? Where do we get that from?
Marianna?
You know, it's interesting because I think we overcomplicate what we need to survive what's coming. And I think that if we just simply shift our mindset, like we're going to have to be camping for a while, that would shift everything. I've been teaching safety awareness and crisis prevention classes for almost 15 years, doing all kind of different enrichment, facilitation, and programming. And everybody wants the list. What's the list for my bug out bag? Do you have a digital download for me to put my... If you don't sit your ass down and pretend like you and your family is going on a long camping trip and put together all the things that you would need for that and keep it simple, what are all the things that you would need if you had to live with Mother Nature and not with the technology and the trickery and the politics? What would that require? I think that's the first step, because people are looking for the perfect list and the perfect Amazon cart and some of the shit you got in your garage right now. Some of the stuff you got scattered all over your house that needs to be in a safety bag. So let's stop overcomplicating preparing for a drastic shift, and let's start going on camping trips. Let's start letting the kids camp in the backyard if you got a backyard. If you don't have a big plot of land to start gardening, growing food, just get a pot and grow some vine tomatoes. Learn how to grow something. Get into nature and connect with her and learn how to live with her without needing a screen. Learn how to live with her and be with your children and have arts and crafts. Learn how to camp is an easy way to shift the mentality to learning how to survive off of the grid if you want to be extreme, or just to survive something that might break down for a week and you don't have access to electricity. Like right now, how much water do you have in your home? Ask yourself those things, but keep it simple. Right now, if you had to flee, would you have to scramble all over the house? No. Then whatever you would need, make sure you got a copy of that and a change of that in a bag. So please, I think the entry point is to simplify what it needs to prepare for war. You don't have to do everything at once, but bit by bit, day by day, you can put things in place as if you were about to go on a big trip and be in Mother Nature. So once you hit that level of just being camp ready, the next level is then honing in on what your skills and abilities are. Not talking about what your skills and abilities are in the big corporate world. I'm talking about what your basic skills are that you know how to do that could contribute to said camp, right? With the healthy people that you decide to camp with or take care of or have take care of you. So when you start shifting that mentality, are you a forager? Oh, do you know certain plants that you should or shouldn't eat? Are you the cook? Are you the nurse? Are you the nanny? What are some of those basic tribal village instinct skill sets that you have that you either use now or you've been sleeping on and you need to sharpen up, that would have you be an asset in a collective in the event that you can't depend on an institution to provide for you? Keep it simple. So in my circle, my immediate circle of that 25 to 30 people, I've been putting my green book together for a while now. All my relationships, everybody has a special superpower, a super skill that if put together on one site, we would be baseline self-sufficient. So that's what I think is the introduction. On the soft tip is to just start putting your things together as if you were going to go on a camping trip and all your basic needs are met. And then number two, sharpen that. If you a hunter or if you a shooter, you need to be, is your permits on point? Do you got your guns clean? Have you practice up? You're a little rusty and you think you got it because you got a thumper? Are you a sharpshooter? If that's what your thing is, do it. Right? If you are a medicine mama, is your cabinet full of the herbs that are necessary if Walmart and Target ain't open to give you some white man medicine? Right? Whatever that skill set is, pour into that because now you become an asset with something to contribute. Now you have something to barter. I think that is a light entry point and then a heavy weight approach when you want to start really, really doing nation building in the face of any type of threat that may come to the normal rhythm that we're accustomed to with technology and institution.
And I would like to speak to the other side of that as well. I'm that person who's going to focus on myself, what I know how to do. I keep it very basic and simple. I have my water and I have my things, but I also have a thing where I am very much in the moment. I am every second of every day. That's where I am because I had to take myself from going out to the future or being too much in the past and being in a space of fear. I didn't come to this planet to be fearful. So I don't allow for things that are not in my current reality to influence me to the way where it's going to make me feel bad. Right. So we've been talking about balance. So you have to have your things and you have to have your preparation, but you have some people that are in a situation, they're like, I got no money for extra nothing. I have no money to prepare. I don't know what to do. When a person gets like that, they can get into a panic and it can get really bad. And so it's just really important to know that the most important thing before you even go get some water, before you get anything, you got to have yourself right. And so what I will recommend is to go outside, take your shoes off and plant your feet on that ground. Go hug a tree, go in the water. If you can't get any water outside, go to your daggone faucet and work with that water because water is magic all the time. And so when you get to the point where you recognize yourself and you know who you are, then you can get to the level because there is magic where if I do not have something, but I want it and I need it and I need to have it, then what I do is I say, thank you, Most High Source, for this planter that I needed. Thank you, Most High Source, for the 5 gallons of water that just got dropped off today. You know, and I know that sounds crazy, right? But here comes a person that I very much believe in the magic in me. And I believe that if I want something and I align myself with the vibrational frequency of what that is, I can have it. And I've done it. So I have proof of that. I know that I can do that. And so when it comes to things that I feel like, oh, I don't have control, I don't have this, or I don't have a way to get here or do that, then I have to get to right now. What is here now? What is here now is my breath. It is myself. It is my mind. And in this space of my wholeness, I'm going to get all of what I need.
Yeah.
Whether it's physical, it's going to come, it's going to show up one way or another. And I have proof that my whole life, I have manifested vehicles. I have manifested places to live. I have been in a space where it's like, I ain't got no money. This is what I used to think, right? Before I recognized that I am the money, I used to allow those ideas of finances, of that fiat notes to cripple me, right? And so when I would think that I was broke, then everything in my life is going to be broke. And that fear starts encouraging that energy because I'm such a powerful being. So that, you know, Most High is not saying, oh, that's not good for you. Most High is saying, oh, look, she's vibrating on this frequency really high. That must be what she wants. So let's give her some more that she's vibrating so hard. So I've had to focus on myself and bring everything that I need and desire to my life through my own energy. And this 5 years old, this has been a life journey of this, because it was happening before I even understood what I was doing. Right. And it's something that is within. And when you recognize that power that you have, you recognize there's nothing that you can't do, be, or have. So now there is no fear. There is no worry. You want to have that land, then you start saying, thank you for that land. Thank you for all of the things that you desire. Know that you can align with everything that you want and start giving gratitude for it. And you watch how things will start showing up in your life.
I say. And you know what's interesting? I think this is a beautiful display for viewers and now and in the future to see how the divine feminine show up in different aspects, right? So whereas you are very grounded in energy work, right? You are very into teaching people how to use their energy, be aware of the energy and the frequency of one. That's her superpower, right? Whereas mine, neither one, both are necessary, is what I'm trying to say. And the more divine feminines that you have around you, that you take good care of and protect so that they can use those superpowers, you're naturally, the gift that you get, the devotion that you get from protecting us is that you get the best of all of those strong, well-nurtured skill sets. So you got a sister like her who teaches the power of meditation, grounding, centering, energy regulation, manifesting. That's somebody that's an oracle that you need on your team, right? And then you get a sister like myself who's like, yes, she's going to ground you in the moment. I'm also going to ground you in the moment with the confidence that you need to know that you have done the work, study, and prayer necessary to actualize something through your actual physical work. She's going to help you activate your energetic work and force field. I'm going to help you and inspire you. I'm a motivator. So I get people moving. So when it's time, when you look at the ancient, artwork that we have there, everybody always got some kind of hoe in their hand, an axe in their hand. We have to do physical work as well. And so when those are working in tandem, when you can see the best of what she has to offer, as well as I and other wonderful goddesses who are coming into their power and learning who they are, you think Marvel is amazing. All of those are based on ancient African deities, right? So we're starting to return to that empowerment. And to some people, they'll call it pagan. Some people, they'll be afraid. Some people will give us the scary, spooky Friday the 13th energy. And that ain't nothing to us. We don't have time to debate it. We don't have time to pontificate over it. Either you with me or not. I'll be over here taking care of me and mine. And so the duality of just what we have shown alone, think of all the amazing women and skill sets that are in the world. Why wouldn't you want to have that on your team?
Marianna, I have a confession. I have a confession.
What's your confession? Ooh, well, let me get some popcorn.
My confession is that part of what allows me to be in that grounded space and stuff and trust that everything that I need is available is because I know Marianna. So I know doing her part and her gift and what she does, which allows me to relax in what I do. Now, I definitely take her advice. Don't get me wrong. Like, if you have the means to get something and to be organized, you absolutely do it. I'm speaking to those who really don't have anything to like pull from, but you really do. And see, when you pull from that energy, that's how you call and you connect. This, my reconnection with Marianna that's not an accident or a coincidence or a mistake. You know, Mama knew what had to be done, and they were like, y'all two need to come together. And so we came to the call. So yes, with the work that Marianna does is absolutely extremely important. And here's a thing that's really important for all of us to recognize. Your time with yourself in that quietness, that's when you're going to get all of the answers of what needs to be done. So it's important this war time that you're not just busy doing stuff. Part of receiving is being in that stillness, trusting yourself and trusting that everything is going to come according to how it's supposed to, the laws of Ma'at. But you have yourself that time. And when you're in that time with yourself, it's not about being with yourself and being rocking. Oh, I'm so scared. What's going to happen? I don't know. Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Because you're creating all of that. Yes. You're planting in the soil. It's funny because when you were talking about growing food and how the seeds come out. It's like I was listening to her. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's just so magical. Because when you really think about it, you plant one seed, and that one seed give you sprout something out with hundreds of seeds, right? And now when you're doing that work, because okay, it's work, but the people that have what they call the green thumb, when they're putting their energy into the soil, that is connecting to the soul star chakra of the planet, the ancestors.
You don't even girl. Look, I
Right?
didn't have a garden for a couple years. I was so sad. When I tell you the way you feel about crystal, sister, that's how I feel about earth.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm a better person when I'm growing crops.
That's it. Yeah. It's powerful. When you as soon as you put your feet, your skin on the ground, the energy of mother comes to your body and starts working on you immediately. But what happens, our people don't be having time for nature. Our people think it's too, they're so in a hurry that they don't recognize just 1 minute on the ground will change your whole cell situation, what you have going on. And so when we take time and have patience, right, we can discover a whole bunch of stuff. So this is, and I just want to say, I'm so grateful for the connections on the Ache network. There's something, there's another confession I have, y'all.
He's in my confession. Oh, go ahead. My bad. Ursula jumped out on me. My bad.
Call me sis. It was like, I don't like to be called sis. I didn't like to be called sis.
Oh.
The reason why I did not like to be called sis is because people, they attach to labels. And so they use labels to manipulate you. And so in my experience, I had a lot of women that would call me sis so that they could get me comfortable and make me feel home, especially those that knew about my background, because in my background, my blood sisters, they're done. Like they don't fool with me at all. So an issue already there with me, and why that is something that I dislike. And then of course my experience with the non-blood sisters that have called me sis and the things that they have done has created this space now where I'm just like, show me you're my sister. Don't call me sis. Don't, none of that. Show me.
Yeah.
And so there are people, like for Marianna is a sister. I call her my sister. There's certain women that I could call sister, and I stand on that. But I'm not going to call this just to make you comfortable. You know what I'm saying? It's, we are all humans on this planet, and real talk, we're not blood related, right? So it's like, coming to me, just come to me as you are and allow me to really see the sister in you. So this that I needed to say, because there's some people in the community that have said that to me, and I have called it to their attention, because I don't like to let things go and have it be like something bothers me, but I'm not saying anything. I want to say it and express it and share it so that they could understand where I come from it, and so that they could also understand it's not you. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't be offended by it, but please recognize where I come from it. So I just think that that's really important, because coming into a world now where we are coming back home to nonverbal, no language. And that means that there was a time, once upon a time, where the way that we connected with each other and we spoke, there was no language at all. It was through the vibrational frequency. And you can speak like, I mean, we experience that with our family members, with our husbands, or, wives. So you have that energy, you pick up that energy because you know that person so well, they don't have to speak. And so that's what we're being called to do now, is to get to that point where you could see somebody, you could look at them, you already know what's up. They don't have to say not one word. And that's just where we're going now. And so there was
No, you good.
No,
I'm privileged. I'm privileged that I could call you sis, and it's real, and it doesn't trigger you. I'm glad you having a different experience, so we can balance out whatever them shady sisters did. Or shady ladies.
Yes, a lot of shady things out there.
That means you're attracting some more people that align with you and are on a good, strong frequency. Yeah. So I appreciate having that insight, and I'll keep that in mind when I address you. But I still am like, I'm glad the part of your heart that, you know, has been betrayed in that way, I'm glad to be a part of the circle and the village that can show you, like, there are good sisters who will protect you and love you and share opportunities with you. And I mean no harm. I mean no harm at all.
And I did not say that so that you could not call me. It was just something that I needed to share.
No, I'm just gonna be dramatic because every time I see you, I'm gonna be like, sis!
Listen,
you and me,
y'all crazy. Hey, shout out to brother Roderick. Let me give him a quick shout out, brother Roderick Williams, 6878. I got it. I got the email now, family. So I'll get that to you after the show's over with. I'll get you your kin number, family. So I just want to give him a quick shout out in regards to the kin number, because he want to get tapped into his cosmic archetype, which is a very powerful thing to know, because you get your own mantra too. So you get your own mantra and a whole set of different it's dope. It's a whole interstellar galactical cosmic connection. I feel like I've been telling people it's almost like getting your cosmic birth certificate, like for real, because it's so powerful and how it aligns with not just the stars.
I want my cosmic birth certificate when I get my appointment.
Text me your date of birth and I'll get yours for you. I'll set it up for you.
I've had readings before, but I'm saying I ain't never had a reading from you before.
Well, this is different. This ain't even a divination council. Well, I guess it's an astrological one.
That's what I'm
saying. Yes.
Just give it.
Text me. Listen, text me your date of birth, man. I got you.
I want a session.
I got you.
Book me.
Yeah. Because we got to get these kin numbers right, man. We got to get these kin numbers and these archetypes right because they all tie in together. It's a very powerful bit of information, to say the least.
When
like
you
for
get
real,
your kin number, you're going to be surprised at how in line it is with who you really are. And what I like about it is that it goes beyond astrology. You know, I mean,
I'm accustomed to astrology. So tell me more.
This is cosmos. And so
I gotta do a whole presentation on it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna text you a link to one of the calls.
Give me the Netflix synopsis. Come on.
So what it is, I would share it, but because this is, you know, it comes from some other places that I don't own the copyrights to, I don't want to do that. But I'll tell you what it is you get connected to the Mayan calendar, right? The initial original calendar, one of the original calendars, one that's not based off of patriarch and taxes and mental enslavement, but like this Gregorian calendar. Yeah, the real one. But so it connects you to your cosmic birth chart, to how you align with the heavens and, you know, the astrology, but as well as how you align with the Mayan calendar, which is of 13 months, right? And then it gives you, and honestly, it is like you said, one of y'all, I forgot I said it was a divination. It's to me, for those who have been through any type of I guess initiation rites in the spiritual realm or spiritual space. I know in Yoruba we get this thing called an ita, and your ita is pretty much your brand new, you know what I'm saying? It's like your playbook for life. It's like your own personalized, for lack of better words, Bible that's just for you. Nobody else in the world has that particular message but you. So this is what this is for everybody who gets it, except for you didn't have to go through a spiritual initiation. You went through aligning yourself with the proper forces at play to give you your cosmic initiation. So now cosmically, astrologically, you are now attuned to your divine purpose and your book that came with you from the stars, the book that came, or I should say the Ashe, the playbook, the GPS that came with you from the Akashic records of the heavens. You know what I mean? And it's dope because once you get it, you get that number, you get a mantra, you get your wave spell, you get all that, but then you get like an overview. And, you know, depending on your number, it depends on how long it is, but it's like a couple pages long. But when I tell you it's going to speak to every morsel of your soul, like, because mine, it was so powerful, I couldn't even read mine. When she sent me just this page right here, which I've been holding on to this damn thing like Linus from Charlie Brown. But when she sent me just that alone, and the conversation we had when she was breaking it all down to me, it was so profound. I had to take a nap. I couldn't even read the overview in the summer.
That baby was tired. That baby was tired.
I said, boy, well, that's a lot of shade, boy. You know, it came from Mama OJ Yemi.
So it's like being able to have oracles that open up and show the mirror for you. So, you know, for I want a reading of all kinds. You know what I'm saying? I'm open to all the readings. Any of the information that's going to help me know thyself, I'm open to it. And I'm open from different cultures and backgrounds. I don't think that there's any harm in that. And so, I've never done the Aztec, I've never done the Mayan calendar before.
Yep, the Olmec calendar. My bad. Harmonious Balance corrected the Olmec calendar, the Olmecian calendar. But yeah, it's powerful.
I gotta get my Olmecian reading.
Yeah, I got it. Just shoot me your birthday and I'll get it to you for sure.
It's 8/22/1979.
Oh, well, yes,
I'm a Leo with 6 houses in Leo. Yes, Lord.
oh, boy. Well,
I
that
can't
Leo
help
ain't
it.
no
Y'all
joke,
be
boy.
trying not to be a Leo. I be trying to pretend and not be a Leo. Sometimes it don't never work. I'm a
Listen, I
super
come from a
Leo.
packing lines. I rock with Leos. Yes, sir.
Harmonious balance is saying, "Hola, harmonious balance." Mwah. She's
Yeah,
saying it's who you are. It's your galactic signature,
yeah.
and
That's what I was
just
saying.
a real powerful thing to have. This powerful knowledge to have. Truly,
Yeah,
truly.
And
very
so you
powerful.
can't tell who this resource is?
I'm Minister
No,
Audrey, and
yeah,
she
OJ Yemi. Yeah, she's been on here before.
us.
She
Okay.
and matter of fact, and I'll send you the link. Her and shout out to HP. Actually, I'm working on getting her back in here ASAP too. But they came on a couple weeks ago together and did like a presentation, breaking down a lot of it. But then I
Oh, I
got
gotta
another
run
one.
it back. I gotta run it back.
Yeah. And I'm gonna send you the link too, where OJ Jimmy came into the Patreon last week and really put in I think an hour and a half, 2 hour presentation specifically on just that. You know what I mean? So we got that, and
I
then
gotta go watch those.
yeah. So I'll send you the links to all those, and I'll send you your kin number, and then that way, we get you up to par with the cosmic galactic signature archetype.
Yeah,
So
I need a new
powerful
reading for
though.
the spring, for the new
Very
year.
powerful. Oh, this gonna be it right here. It's gonna be powerful too, for real, for real. So yeah, man. So with that, where will y'all want to lead this thing off with? Because I gotta get ready to go grab me something to eat. I ain't really ate
I'm
for all day.
very happy to be here. I'm very happy to be here. I watched Coming to America the other day on Tubi. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that, but I watched it on TV the other day. I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen this movie in so long.
Man, that's a classic.
Yeah, both of them, the first one and the remake. I enjoyed them both.
The remake was cool. I was hoping they didn't mess it up. I don't feel like they messed it up, but it wasn't like the first one. It was hard to make a classic again.
How could
I
you
like the first one the best.
Yeah,
Me
the
too.
first one is absolutely the best, but I wasn't mad at the second one, but nothing like the first one.
I'm very happy to be here. He was so funny in that movie.
I too am very happy to be here. I think I sounded a little Filipino when I said that one.
Hey, it's all good.
Melanated.
I want to say thank you so much to everybody that tuned in tonight. This has been amazing. I have if you're in the Sacramento area, I have it up on Wednesday, March 18th, where I'm showing people about the 9 chakra system. Most people know the 7, and of course they keep it up to the 7. They always trying to keep something from people. But the earth star that's below the feet and the soul star chakra that's above the head is two essential chakras to your livelihood. So we're going to be talking about that at the Wall in Sacramento in Midtown on March 18th. And after that, I have on March 20th, I begin my season of Master Vibration 13 self-healing. Remember who you are is the theme for this season. So come to vibration13.com. And if you are interested in joining me, I'm going to give you a 15-minute consultation so that we could chat, because everybody can't just come in. We were just talking about all of that tonight. So you got to be in the right, be able to participate in this that we're doing this year. But this is a very powerful season, because what I'm doing is we're doing Master Vibration 13 so that you can know who you are. And when you are ready for your sovereignty and for your freedom, then we go into Infinite Ministry and talk to you about becoming your own private minister and just taking back everything that belongs to you. But you got to be prepared in your mind and body first so that you're able to really access this information and what it truly means, because it's great power. And with great power comes great responsibility. So if you're interested in checking me out, mastervibration13.com is where you can find me. And if you want to connect with me quickly, 818-233-5776. I have a very special offer for only the people in this community. I have pendants like this, and I don't normally have anything for under $99. However, I have created a special collection for the network and the people that are in this community, a $55 pendant that will knock your socks off. So if you are interested in learning about orgone technology and getting your feet wet with that one, go on and send me a text, 818-233-5776, and I'll make sure and get you one.
Woo! That was clean, girl. That was clean. That's that radio. That's that radio voice, honey. She came through. That was clean. One take, mama. And you know, let me tell you, for those listening and now in the future, I have several of her orgone battery pieces. And some of them I sleep with, some of them I wear on a day-to-day, some of them I keep near me when I'm working or studying. They have changed my life and activated parts of my understanding, parts of my energy frequencies in ways that I know are beneficial to me. And with her art, with her craft, with her gift, with her skill, it's not one of those ones you can talk about. You just have to do it or not. So if you're interested in learning how to do energy work and have a healthy on-ramp to this realm, get yourself some pieces from her and really take the time to get to know the earth's magic through the crystals and through the orgone batteries. I know that they've been a blessing to my life, and I'm thankful for you for that, sis.
I love you, Mom. Thank you so much.
I love you too. I love you too. So I want to remind people that this Sunday, March the 15th, I have the Women's Wellness Fellowship going on. We are the sisterhood chapter of the Men's Wellness Fellowship. We're meeting at Queen Sheba Restaurant in Sacramento off of Broadway from 3 to 5. We get in, we get out, we do mental health, we do emotional health, we do spiritual wellness. It's non-denominational, so it doesn't matter what your particular faith-based walk is. We come in as women who are ready to decompress the stress, who are ready to reaffirm themselves, do some mental health activities, do some networking and sisterhood activities, and then we out. So you're welcome to come to that. And then on the Monday, March 30th, we'll be having our first round at the Black Panther Party Museum in Oakland. So you can go to Eventbrite for either one. The events are free. You know, you can bring some change to get yourself some drink and some beverage or, you know, some food. But I look forward to seeing you there. We've been doing this now for 8 months. This will be our 8th month strong, and it's growing. People are enjoying it and coming from far and wide, and you are invited to join us too.
And could you please tell them how they can get with you for your one-on-one consultation that you had a special online? Please tell them about
So I do something called refresh sessions. And right now I have a 50% off special for first-time clients for your first session. And what we do is we do one-on-one coaching for your mental health, for your emotional hygiene, so that you can really sit down and do activities to work through whatever particular challenges you're having mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. And so that can include doing shadow work. That can include doing inner child healing. That can be goal setting. That can be changing some behaviors and habits and having some tools to overcome that. So I tell people, and I'm very clear, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not here to diagnose you, and I don't want to give you a prescription. My job is to serve as a coach, to agitate your greatness, to help you be self-aware, to decompress the emotions, but ultimately walk away with a plan of action that you can do to recommit to yourself and change some of the patterns and have new experiences that you want to design for yourself. So I do have a 50% off special right now for, like I said, first-time clients. The first session is always 2 hours, and then no strings attached. You can book yourself and do work whenever you're ready.
Yeah, boy. We got a lot of specials going on tonight. So
you gotta be a special lady.
Woo!
And a very exciting girl. You gotta be a special lady.
I'm gonna hit you with
You got me sitting on top of the world.
Yeah. Boy, I had to hit him with that pop boy from that. I forgot which video that was when they was at the pool party. My boy, I get around. I think that was that I get around video. Yes, sir. I had to hit him with that get around, boy. That pop boy, I get around this thing. Look, I got to get Lady Night Walker. She said, SEG, that number once again, please.
818-233-5776. Una vez más, 818-233-5776.
Hey,
and my website to book me for refresh sessions or to do workshops and facilitations for your organizations is Marianna.today. MISSMARIANNA.today.
All right. Yes, sir. And listen, Tribe, it'll be in the show description as well. I definitely have all the links socials, channels, websites, you name it. I always put them in the show description. So that's the easiest way to find out how to contact the guests of this African Spirituality Experience podcast. And since we in the element of specials, I got a special going on too. We about to launch this content creating YouTube / marketing content creation community, man. So that's been on my to-do list for a long time coming. So now I'm about ready to get this thing cracking, family. So those who are coming to the private community call tomorrow, I definitely have some highlights and some insights for you to see on that. I'm looking forward to it, man, because we got some people in the tribe that are entrepreneurs. So I'm looking forward to making something happen where we're putting together these collective marketing channels, man, because, you know, we got to put our brands and businesses, products and services out there. And one of the things I'm the most grateful for, not only pouring into and being able to work with the tribe in the capacity that we have, but as Lady SEG could tell you, we've had a lot of people who have benefited, you know, from their business and their products and goods and services, all by just being a guest on the channel. So at the end of the day, you know, and myself, I can't speak to how many people have supported, whether they bought books, whether they bought consultations, whether they bought merch, whether they bought t-shirts, you know, you name it, man. I can't thank y'all enough for all of the support. So with that being said, my goal now is to teach other people how to do the same thing, man, because you know, understand we divided we fall, and we need our own independent revenue streams, multiple by the way, expeditiously. So I look forward to sharing that, you know, with the tribe, man, for real, because a lot of people who want to do YouTube, but haven't figured out how to do it, you know what I mean, or know the approach to do it, have the strategies to do it. So I want to share that with those who are willing to, you know, put in the work, man, to make it happen. Because ultimately, when we started, I want to show y'all we're going to monetize the channel within 6 months' time. Really, I feel like we can do it in less than that, but we're going to do it in 6 months' time. I'm going to show you step by step from scratch, you know, how to get that thing cracking. So for those who are interested in learning this content creation, especially with YouTube, holla at your boy, man, because we're definitely going to have a lot of things popping for that. So with that being said, family, any last words before we get up out this thing?
Ashe.
Ashe.
Sounds good enough to me. Shout out to Late Night Walkers out doing it. That's your pop's dance. Your pop's pop, or is that the same dance that your pops be doing that pop dance? Like he be hitting that around the world, man. Listen, and shout out to you two again, both of y'all, really, because both of y'all done lined me up with some dope future guests. So boy, I ain't gonna speak on it yet, but I can't wait to get them up in this thing. Boy, we got some heat coming through.
Yeah, I told you, you take care of women, you'll be taken care of forever.
Linda, listen, Linda, they ain't never lied, boy. Because I'm telling you, we already got. I'm saying the hummus, but we already got some heavy hitters, man. But yo, they both done they're gonna bless us with some very powerful forces coming through, family. So I look forward to that, man. I can't wait. I ain't gonna speak on it just yet, but when you see them notifications come up, y'all will know them. But I definitely look forward to it. So I give both of y'all gratitude and thanks for making those connections, man. I'm definitely looking forward to bringing in this new Ashe. So I give thanks and gratitude.
Thank you.
All right. It's an honor and a pleasure. All right, tribe. So I appreciate y'all, man. It's been another episode of the African Spirituality Experience.
Everybody have a good evening.
Shout out to Miss Marianna Sekhmet Maat. I am SEG.
Does it like that all the time.
I'm telling you, boy, it's a lot of voices, man. Look, and some of them be getting loose. So I got to do it. Real quick before we get out of here. Shout out to the brother. I don't remember his name, but there was a brother in the comments. I was on the show with I don't remember who it was. I think it was BDL, and he mentioned one of the popes. And I was like, it was one of the voices just got loose before I realized, like, that sounds like some mob shit to me. He was like, whoever it was, he was like, damn, what voice this sound like mob shit? I was like, man, it was them voices, bro. They got out before I could reel them back in. It was funny though, but yeah, man. So I definitely appreciate y'all. It's always a good time when y'all come through, man. So shout out to all the mothers. Shout out to the Divine Feminine. Shout out to this Friday the 13th, because 13 ain't never did nothing wrong to me. So I'm definitely saluting and appreciating the 13th and the Divine Feminine energy it brings with it. So with that, family, I appreciate every single one of y'all. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and we'll see y'all on the next episode.
Peace. Good juju, good juju.
Ẹni tó gbàgbé ilé ṣàpò ìyàgbọ́ tẹ́ǹtì ẹni takísà ní tàtàn bó bá padà sílé anítìjà kọ ẹja lọ pé eégún mo ṣe ní gbẹ́rẹ́ ìpàkọ́. Forsake not your ancestors and praise your